This is the September 14th, 2021 Executive Committee meeting of the Troy Community Land Bank. The meeting starts at 4:30 p.m. Okay, so we're on our way.
Yes, I'd like to call the meeting to order. You take roll call. Brian Barker,
Here.
Albert Watson,
Here.
the amazing Suzanne Spellin,
Here.
Heather King is here. Also in attendance is Catherine Hedgeman and Tony Tazi. So we have in front of us the minutes from the June 8th meeting. Have we all had an opportunity to review? And if so, any questions or comments? Motion to approve.
Motion.
Brian.
Second.
Suzanne second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so are we going into executive session?
You know, I just put that on it's just kind of a catch-all in case Kate feels we need it on the agenda
Kate?
for now or for the board meeting. Okay,
Excuse me. Okay, so you have on here the 2021, the city property disposition list. City council approved it, and this is part of that bigger picture of the plan that you're working on. Have you presented that plan to the entire board yet, or not quite, because it's not quite together?
well, I did submit it to the city, and I thought I did. If I haven't circulated to the board, then I definitely should. You guys don't remember seeing it?
I've seen a lot of stuff,
Okay.
but I don't,
That's right,
I
I think
think it might be, I mean, with being awarded this prior to our board meeting, I think it might be a good idea to. I don't, you know, it could be new business, under new business, maybe. Bring everybody up to speed.
Yep, we can do that.
Right.
So I'll circulate the narrative I put together. So you want that on the agenda for discussion?
Yeah, just for
Report
new,
discussion.
new business, I think. Does everybody think that's a good idea?
Yes.
So you have on here community loan fund. So it looks like these rest of these items, with the exception of the real estate broker, all part of finance,
Yeah,
which is meeting next week.
correct, on Tuesday.
Okay, so hopefully the awarding of 2 contracts for 791 River, and then a recommendation for a home equity loan on 54 Fifth Ave.
And 11 Winnie Avenue. So, and I think I'll need board approval. Well, I guess I don't need board approval to actually submit the application, right? But I'd like to know the board's okay with it. So maybe just have a discussion.
Kate, do we need board approval to submit the application? No? Okay, so also new business.
Okay. So just discussion.
And then what's going on with the real estate broker? Not much? Sorry.
We were going to schedule a meeting and I kind of dropped the ball when I got crazy with my life. So,
I'm sorry about your loss too,
oh,
Suzanne.
thanks.
Oh,
Oh, my cat died.
a loss.
It's a
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah, it's family, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that wasn't the issue. It's my other, making money stuff. So I have to send out an email and see when people can meet. But it probably won't be before the meeting.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna strike that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of anything that I've forgotten to put on here. Nothing's coming to mind, but I feel like there's something missing.
Well, I think we need to have a board meeting. I mean, we'll have to award the RFPs if there are any.
Mhm.
But I do think that after we do the resolutions for those items, that it's important just to bring the board up to speed on this project that we're working on altogether.
The grant.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you want Teresa Newton there?
Yeah.
She's writing it. She doesn't have to be there. I'm comfortable covering it if you'd like me to. But
if she
But
wants
if you
to
want
be,
an expert,
if she wants to be, I think that's a great idea.
okay. Yeah, she's been, well, Hillary is also working on it. Teresa's really been taking the lead, and she's just been fantastic. As Hillary is too.
Well, I think,
Um,
I was just gonna say, I think anything that we present at the meeting that we can then disseminate to our very observant and discerning Facebook audience, is good for
Yeah, and I think we
transparency.
need just to run it by Kate first before we present anything, just to make sure that there's nothing legally that potentially,
Sure.
yeah. Are you okay with that, Kate?
No. Um,
yeah,
there's a lot of, first
Moving
and
pieces.
foremost, I don't know what grant, and again, I could be out of the loop, but what grant is being written without having put out an RFP for contract?
we haven't started writing it because we have to do the RFP.
Okay.
So, I'll ease your mind on that. So what we need to do is, and Kate, you and I talked about this, we need to know what properties we're working with to put into the RFP. And we can't release the RFP unless we know what properties we're working with. So we're kind of a little bit caught in a catch-22, despite the fact that the city approved the transfer of those properties. There are other properties that we would like to go after. And it's been kind of part of the conversations during our meetings at City Hall. So I think we need to get a little bit more clarity on that. Don't you think, Kate?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly where I thought we were. So there's really nothing to put out on social media. That was really more my answer than anything else. I mean, unless and until that RFP really is written, because that's what's going to say, here are the properties, here's what we want, it's going to have everything in it. I think you could do a social media on that. And that's how everyone will know what properties are subject to that, that we're looking for proposals on. So that's why I was just a little bit confused, as we're not ready. We're not there yet.
No, we're not.
Who's
Okay.
managing our Facebook account?
Me,
You are?
kind of.
So how about putting up a post about the Stewart's building with how well that turned out?
Yeah, that was Kate's suggestion, and I think it was a great one. So,
Okay, somebody has to tell me. I didn't know anything was going
No,
on.
we'll forward over to you the photos that the property owner sent. He finished the rehab and he got his certificate of occupancy, I believe, but I guess I would double check on that because
he
everybody
does.
will double check.
yeah, he does have it.
Okay. Yeah, send me good news.
Okay.
The one question I do have is on Vesta, but I won't bring that up until we're ready to talk.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking. And so maybe Kate, if you and I can, sorry, I'm sending myself a note. Maybe we can catch up on that because there are a couple of things we're trying to pull together.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, I guess the only issue that I see is that there's an application process the city has to go to add that as funding for the Vesta, to purchase that as part of a greater plan. And that's going to take some time. And I just don't know what we do with the current options and everything, without being able to say to Vesta, let's enter into a contract for sale and let's extend it. And I guess I can just extend it, but they really want to know when, because they stopped taking, they were moving people out and, all kinds of stuff. So, I don't
So we
want
got to get on that phone call with the other party involved ASAP.
Yeah, even if, it is a couple month process, I think that's fine, but I need to be able to tell their council that and see how they feel about it. That's all.
Okay.
Because I suppose what I would do I have to think about it, but I want to exercise that option and get a timeline in place before the option's up on October 1st.
What properties are you specifically referring to?
The Vestas, I don't know the address.
Yeah, 4 properties.
It's River Street properties, right?
Yeah,
Well, there's one on 6th Avenue. It's 814 River. It's either 806 or 808 River, 834 River, and I'm gonna be wrong about this, but it's about 3221 6th Avenue.
Not selling 820?
We'd like to acquire that and include it in the Legacy City Access Program bundles or bundle, whatever it turns out to be. So we need to get some clarification from some folks on how funding would flow.
yeah.
And until we really know that, Kate's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place before taking any action to move forward.
Do a timeline.
Yeah, I mean, I just need dates to prop up a sale contract. You know, I mean, that's really all they're asking for is the time frame. And there seems to be some confusion on their part too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
which is why, Tony, I wanted us to be talking to them and not.
Another party.
Yes,
I understand.
okay. We'll get on that. So I don't think there's any like business votes to be taken for this meeting. I think it's more of an update slash, report, right, to the board or?
Well, and also just if we're gonna be awarding the 791 River Street. Yeah, panel and site, that's it, yeah.
All right, so we might need a resolution to approve a contract, Tony, would that be it?
Hopefully to award 2 contracts.
Okay.
Each for 791 River Street. One's metal siding and the other is the masonry veneer.
All right, what day did we say we're having the meeting? The 22nd?
Yes.
Via Zoom,
Yeah, I assumed you guys wanted Zoom.
that'd be great.
2 responses that did carry the way, so. I know Zoom is more convenient for everyone.
All right, well, that gives us time to do resolutions, if need be. So when you have something concrete, Tony, just shoot it over, so.
When's finance meeting is the 20th?
The 21st, so the RFPs are due back 2 o'clock on the 20th. And finance meets 8:30 on the 21st. Unless finance wants to do it at a different date, but that's what is on our website.
So Kate, you'll have 32 minutes to do the resolutions.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to have those posted prior, at least 72 hours prior to the meeting.
Oh,
So,
we could move the board meeting to the 29th if that's necessary.
I'm okay with that. I'm all right with meeting it to the 29th, moving it.
It's okay with me.
Fine. Fine
Okay,
with me as well.
all right.
um,
Go ahead.
no, I mean, I may not be able to do that, but that's neither here nor there. So,
Well, how about like a 28th? What are you,
it's the end of the month and I have 3 major commercial closings to close.
how about the 23rd or the 24th? I'm not here the 24th. Okay. And I'm not here
Well,
the
let's just
27th.
let's just see how it goes. I mean, it is what it is,
Okay,
So if, we need a resolution, I'll get it done as quickly as we can, leaving it on the 22nd. If for some reason you don't make a decision, or something goes wrong, you don't have responses or whatever the case may be, you might have to, move the meeting, of course, to some other date, but we should wait and see.
All right, let's keep it the 22nd then. Okay,
See what
that's
happens.
exciting, Kate.
I suppose.
Hey,
It's
Tony,
exciting for others, Kate. Yeah, the 20th, we're gonna keep it on the 22nd.
Tony, I saw that you attached the financials. I was just wondering if you can just, like, real high level, just kind of explain the status of the funding rounds and our loans and our cash situation, just to get it,
Albert,
refresh
if you
my
can-
memory.
I was gonna ask you too about the PPP loan. If you
Oh,
were able to get that forgiven.
Yeah, the PPP one loan was forgiven. So that's done. PPP two, I don't think can be forgiven at this point. I could be wrong about that, but
Not open yet to be
the
forgiven.
last time I looked, they said, and it was about 3 weeks ago, no one was able to, request it.
Okay,
For the community loan fund, loan application, I know the last time Sharon Nichols and I went to them looking for a loan, it was kind of a bizarre experience for us. This has been nothing but pleasant. The person that I'm working with has been extremely, extremely helpful. So I need to pull together some financial information. I've already provided some information. But I need to get more into that person. His name I can't remember.
Is this a working capital line of credit, or what exactly is it?
It is yes, it's an equity line of credit. So that would be taking equity from 54 Fifth Ave and 11 Winnie. We would receive an interest-only payment loan. Closing costs would be a $40 UCC filing fee, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And to pay for their attorney, who I'm told charges comically low costs. They're waiving the 1% origination fee. And we would use part of the funding to pay off the loan at 11 Winnie.
How much is it? How much is the loan?
That's what I still need to figure out.
Okay.
And maybe we can talk about that Friday, Albert, because don't want to ask for too much, but want to make sure it's enough to get us to where we have to get to. And as part of that, I think some of the stuff Kate was talking about in terms of timing, what falls into place at what time, I think would have to be, part of that amount. So in consideration of what that amount should be.
And Tony, what's the Ameristar loan again?
That was $80,000 principal, interest-only payments, and I don't recall offhand what that is per month. It was the closing costs that were very high on that. That made it, not the best loan in the world to go after, but it was the fastest loan we could get. So, and we needed the cash at the time. So, it is what it is, or it is what it was. But that's essentially what that was.
Yeah.
The term was for 12 months.
And just big picture in terms of the loans, keep the cash flow going. You're going to borrow against the equity of a couple of properties. We're going to sell those properties, pay off loans, and hopefully get another round of funding, right? Is that the big picture?
Yeah, plus hopefully, if we can acquire the Vesta properties and sell the Vesta properties, or at least be reimbursed for our costs, then that conceivably would be funds that would fall fall into our reserves fund. And that's what Kate and I need to get a little bit more information on before we know what that picture more clearly looks like.
So is he, well, it's community loan fund, they're not taking a general, security in all the assets, just specific properties.
Yes, yeah.
And what if those properties are sold? What are they gonna do?
Well, they'll put a lien on the properties. It'll be secured. So they'll get their money back at closing. Well, I guess they'll get two payments. Each.
They're only
property
gonna
is closed.
take a mortgage on the ones we're mortgaging that need to be sold. They can't put a blanket mortgage on all of them. That will never work.
Well, we could still just do 54 and that would be fine. It really would be.
Yeah, we want it specific to properties we're gonna sell, because then the mortgage will be taken out when we sell, you know.
So
And
this is just a temporary loan then, right?
Yeah, it's really just a bridge loan to get us from where we are now to where we need to be. You know, as I said, at A&D, 54 Fifth Avenue is moving along very quickly. I think it'll be completed possibly as early as the end of this month. For sure by the end of October, unless something really wacky happens. Which, speaking of 11 Winnie Avenue, we can also probably market that depending on when we can get a furnace installed and water heaters installed. So,
and then what's the status of the OAG funding, like, at this point?
I don't know the balance off the top of my head. I can pull it down and get that to you. But we still, well, it's also not AOG funds, by the way, and I didn't even realize this until a few months ago. So when the AOG sued the last bank they sued, the stipulation was that the funding go not to the Attorney General's office, but directly to Enterprise Community. So it's basically all private funds, not basically, it technically is all private funding.
Okay,
And I suppose they did that to avoid a lot of state red tape and strings and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. So the cash that we have, the 53 in bank accounts in the general account, is that pretty much what's left of the Ameristar loan? Is that what?
That's the balance of what's left on the Ameristar loan and the balance of our last disbursement from the Enterprise Community.
Gotcha. And when's the next disbursement from the OAG funding? or enterprise fund?
Well, that could be soon. So Tanya has had some real family issues that I probably shouldn't put on. But she's gone through a rough time with a family member. So she has some information from me. I need to have a conversation with her, and I haven't pushed her because it's, you know, she's a human being. It's just not a good time.
Yep.
But
But it looks like there's like $114,000 in round 4 funding that's still out there.
there's actually there's $293,000 plus the balance of the community liaison salary, which would be for this coming for 6 months, and the balance of whatever the balance is of the projects that still need to be completed. And there's probably not a lot of balance in that, but they're there is a balance to be dispersed. And all the funds need to be dispersed by December 31st, or, you know, the program's over December 31st.
Yep.
And some conversations I've had with Tanya, she did allude to the possibility / probability that Enterprise would be willing to disperse the funds in advance of actual expenses being incurred. So for instance, $293,000 to acquire Vesta Properties. If they're okay with that plan, then I'm pretty confident that they would be willing to disperse the funds before December 31st, if needed. Provided they're feeling comfortable with the plan. I did forward that plan to Tanya, I think last Thursday. And I just said, you know, just look at this when you have time. I'm not sending it to you for anything, any kind of reply anytime soon. So that's the way I left it with her.
And then the Pioneer loan is what's left over on the construction loan. Is that correct?
That is correct. And you're gonna want to know the balance on that, and I don't know it off the top of my head. But it should show up on the financials. That Albert can
Yep.
interpret, but I can't.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I have it in front of me.
What's this OAG funding? What's that?
I think that our accountants have it down incorrectly as OAG funding. It should really be enterprise community funding. Like I said, I just learned a few months ago, maybe 4 months ago, tops, that the funding did not come directly from the Attorney General's office. It came directly from the bank to enterprise community to the Troyline Bank.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Guys, I have to go. I have to go on an appointment.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
good. That's all I needed.
Does anybody need anything else?
I guess I'll talk to you Friday about this, the working capital line of credit we were talking about. So I don't know if they'll do it, but instead of you having to do this thing with
Thank you, Albert.
getting mortgages on these properties all the time, and just get like a basic working capital line of credit, will they do that?
Maybe I can set up a call with the person from Community Loan Fund so we can both talk directly to her.
Okay, all right,
I think that would actually be helpful to me.
yeah, yeah.
You have to show income to get a working line of credit.
Well, it all depends. I mean, what the land bank does, maybe they'll look at it as a CRA loan, I don't know, but community loan fund's a little different from a bank, so they do stuff with a lot more risk than banks would, or credit unions, so I don't know, it's just conversation, see where they're at.
That could simplify things.
Yeah, I think you need it, but I mean, you guys are asset rich and cash poor, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Second, third.
All right. So unless we hear different, we're on for the 22nd.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody.
yep,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Take care.
guys.
so I'll see you Friday, Tony.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank you, Albert.
yep.
Bye, everyone.